So, ladies and gentlemen, good things in e-commerce come in all shapes and sizes. And in this video, we're going to highlight a specific store that is absolutely printing money, like over $2 million per month, with one of the simplest products out there. And it's going to go to show, right, that a lot of people think you need the latest technological problem solving gadget out there in order to make money and build a massive e commerce business. But in reality, some of the biggest e commerce businesses sell some of the simplest everyday things. And this store that I'm about to show you is such an example. So watch till the end. You're going to learn a lot. And I'm even going to show you how you could source a product like this to test out if you wanted to. Here we go. The store is called Step One. And what they do is they sell boxer briefs for men, right? So this is a boxer brief brand. Now let's take a look at the traffic right away because you can learn a lot about how much traffic a store is getting. They're getting 850,000 monthly visitors, which is a significant amount. If we take a look at their average order value, we can see that it adds up to a lot of money. So let's actually take a look at, let's say, this boxer brief, right? This is kind of the classic $35 for just one, okay, for just one boxer brief. Again, though, here's the thing that you got to remember when it comes to e commerce is that most people want to buy things that relate to them or that they, have some sort of connection to, right? So a lot of these brands are running advertising on Meta that is super clever and really appeals to a specific desire that somebody may have. And then, of course, when you're running marketing like that, price isn't necessarily the most sensitive thing ever, right? For people, because if your thing is going to actually help someone achieve that goal, why wouldn't they pay for that, right? They would pay a lot more money than you think for that. That's how people are able to sell. For example, like gurus sell like $100,000 memberships and things like that because, well, if that membership can earn you $1 million, why wouldn't you do it, right? That's how at my agency we can sell services for 5K a month, right? Because if us running 5K a month services makes you 30K a month, 50K a month, 100K a month, it's definitely worth it, right? And that's how people approach these things. That's how marketing should be done, right? As you're trying to get somebody to achieve an outcome. You don't have to always make it, so deep, right? Because there's even, for example, some streetwear brands that totally crush it. And I mean, what is the problem they're solving? They're not really solving a problem, but they are selling a look. That's why fashion is so powerful, right? Because people buy fashion items because they want to look a specific way, right? And that's their desired outcome. That's how I know that I'm kind of going on and on about this, but it's a very important concept. That's how Louis Vuitton can sell a $2,000 t-shirt that looks just like this, right? Is because people want to look rich. So, they want to pay a lot of money for something that they know costs a lot of money because they want to look like a rich person to other people. That's their desired outcome when they do that. Now, this is kind of a taboo type of brand, I would say, and that's one of the reasons why it's so prominent. You don't really see many men's brands like advertising things like this, like, showing a guy's like dick pretty much. Like, obviously, that's pretty weird, but it works, right? And that's why it works actually, because not a lot of brands are willing to do this. And I totally understand a lot of people would be pretty upset about their brand image when running something like this. But if you make that a part of your brand, right, then it actually makes sense to do it. And it works, of course, since it's very like eye catching, right? When things are eye catching, they tend to work really well. And that's why they're running 120 different ad results here, right? Because they are running a lot of eye catching images, videos, and things that just get clicks. And when your ads get better engagement, guess what? You can scale because your metrics are likely going to look a lot better than people that are just running super simple, boring ads. So they're very sustainable, which is great. They're a sustainable brand. I think that's always cool when brands take efforts to make things sustainable. Now, let me just quickly go through this. So, okay, if you order four more pairs, you save $2 per pair. So they're trying to get people to, order a bunch, right? And that's a great idea. I think this is actually an Australian brand, by the way. So if we look a little bit into the data before I actually show you some sourcing products that I found. As of March 21st, 2024, Step One Clothing Limited had a revenue of 45.1 million for the first half of the 2024 financial year. So actually, they're probably on their way to do over $100 million this year, considering that Q4 is the strongest quarter of the year for fashion brands. So this is a 25.5% increase from the previous period, and this growth is due to double-digit growth in the United Kingdom and triple-digit growth in the United States. Wow, so they are popping off in the US, but also in the UK. This is right here actually a very big key that I think is undervalued in the e-commerce world is the fact that you can sell things everywhere in the world. I mean, that's pretty powerful, especially with drop shipping or if you have really good sourcing partners like we do at my company with Boxstrap, where, we're really good partners with those guys. We're even starting some brands together with them. They actually live right next to the Chicago airport, which is one of the biggest hubs for international shipping, funny enough, for DHL at least specifically. So they get extremely good shipping rates basically worldwide. Um, but for example, you can use something like AutoDS, right? And I just looked up briefs here. AutoDS is a really good software for finding suppliers. And there's this product right here, which is actually a pack of 5, right? It's a pack of 5 really, really good briefs. They're cotton, which is really good, and they ship really fast, actually. They ship in 2 days. So this is really good for drop shipping, right? Because you can actually get these delivered super quickly. And for 5, like, if you bought 5, they're selling 5 for the price of 1 on step one, right? Now, of course, these guys are super sustainable, whatever. They have a bunch of technology or something. I'm actually not exactly sure what makes their boxers so unique besides, you know, what they talk about in the comfort. I guess the bamboo viscose material might feel pretty good, but I personally would rather have just cotton, right? Just straight up cotton. So this actually is pretty good, right? If you can just copy the marketing, just hire some male models or something to pose with the boxer briefs. That's really all they're doing, right? They're just getting really good models to sell this. So then when guys look at it, there's like, oh, they're like, well, I want to look like that. Um, Same thing that women go through when they get advertised to, right? Everyone is susceptible to their inner desires, the people they want to become. And if something like this, right, like they have so many angles. They have a chafing angle, just a straight up comfort angle, sweaty balls, whatever. Like this is very sensitive for a lot of men out there. So when they hear that in an ad, boom, they just instantly want to buy. And it may sound very silly to a lot of you guys, right? It may sound really silly, but these are the things that some people are thinking about, and they're getting creative with it and building massive businesses off of. So don't think that this is super silly and stupid and wouldn't be successful, because it obviously is. And that's why personally I love doing these brand case studies, because they always inspire me in the sense that there's just brands that sell really interesting products that I wouldn't think would succeed at a certain level. And more often than not, I see that the biggest key is really their creative diversity on their ad account. And then there's obviously a million things. There's so many components that go into a successful e-commerce brand. Um, and that's why I also love my agency, right? Because we work with some of the brands that do these kinds of numbers, and we've been able to learn so much and help them so much by just focusing all in on the data driven growth. um, so yeah, and that's why now we're starting to invest in brands too. We have our own brands. I'm investing in more brands. So if you're like a motivated individual out there, join the Akemi Lab. That's where I'm basically picking and choosing partnerships these days, is with the people that join the lab, and also hiring. I'm not gonna lie, like our team has been growing, and I've been hiring a lot from just the people in the Akemi Lab, because people that join Akemi Lab are very committed, right? They're very smart. They tend to be some of my best followers, I guess you could say. Some of the people that follow me that actually really want to grow, right? They really want to be entrepreneurs and big entrepreneurs. So I figured, why not build this sort of decentralized web of e-commerce businesses, and not just e-commerce businesses. I'm also investing in softwares, Shopify. I have one Shopify project, specifically a Shopify app that is super cool, that it's like so cutting edge that I don't even want to actually talk about it further, until we actually lock it in. But that's going to be incredible. Like, I'm so excited for that. So much exciting stuff in the forefront, and it all stems from just literally looking at these brands, getting inspired by them, and just taking massive action. So, that's where I see an app like AutoDS be super helpful. I just recently started getting into contact with these guys. I kind of faded them for the longest time, but now I am launching new products from here. Um, and yeah, just trying to. I think they're actually the best app right now. I've tried Zendrop, I've tried CJ, I've tried what else? What's the other app? Spocket, USA Drop. All these apps, they're pretty good. I mean, they're awesome, and I've met some of the founders, so massive respect. But AutoDS definitely seems to be just on the cutting edge, and I'm constantly trying to be on the cutting edge of e-commerce, right? That's why I love the ecosystem that I've built. It allows me to be very much on the cutting edge. So by following this channel, you're on the cutting edge as well. And I hope that this inspired you. I know that it may be a little bit silly, but try to think outside the box, try to use the creativity that these guys have and apply it to whatever you are doing. And not just the creativity, but the data, right? Like look at the ads that they're running. Look at some of the efforts that they're putting into, right? Like they're not really, for example, doing a ton with Instagram. They're not really prioritizing their Instagram feed too much, but they are still posting, pretty consistently, which is, I think, good. But ultimately, they're not like putting a huge emphasis on this because it's not a revenue driving channel for them necessarily, at least not on the feed post. Their reels actually do pretty well. I think every brand should make reels and TikToks just because that same content can go so far on this, like literally the same content can be reposted on like four other platforms and reach 10x, even 100x more people with just a little bit of effort. So that's another thing I'm always hiring people for is literally just reposting. If you're a good reposter, reach out to me, and we can get you set up with a job like literally within a week. We hire fast, we make fast deals. Um, I just like to move fast. So yeah, I didn't mean to shill a million things in this video, but I didn't make a video yesterday. I've been on vacation. So many cool things have been happening. The team is so strong. I just love everybody that I work with right now. And, I love the community that we're building. Even though this seems small right now, man, we're getting thousands and thousands of views on these videos where we're talking about really high level things. That's so inspiring, right? Because that means the people that are watching, aka you, are likely someone who is going to go very far. And those are the kinds of relationships I want to continue to nurture and harbor. And, it's going to be awesome. Just the future's super bright. And there's always so much turmoil in the world. And I'm glad that in this little corner of the internet, it's little right now, but not forever, that we can have just constant positivity and problem solving. And, we want to just make the world better by making each other better. So that's really about it for this video. I know that this got super sidetracked, super tangented, but I don't even know if that's a word, but it makes sense to me. But I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I love yapping away on my channel. And that's it. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.